fast and hard. But you know what? No matter how far and how fast I ran, God ran right after me. He didn't give up on us, did He? I remember the night that God hijacked my heart because I had ran into a life of drugs and alcohol. 4 and 5 nights I'd sit with cocaine piled in front of me. Pastor, I was trying to just do away with my bitterness and fill that void in my life, that I felt. One night I was high as a kite and it was 2:30 in the morning. I decided to jump in my car and go home. And as I started to drive, I saw blue lights behind me. And the officer came up. I had enough sense to pull over. And he came up to the window and he said, "Sir, it's late. You need to go home. Get some rest." My life could have changed drastically at that point. But God had a different plan and God was up to something. Amen. That's just like God, isn't it? Amen. I sat there and for a minute I rolled the window up. I drove to my daddy's house the whole time. Man, God was working on me in a mighty way. I got to his house and I slung the door open. That's country for open. And I ran into his living room, into a corner, just me and God. And I started crying out, "God, please forgive me for who I've become. God, please forgive me for all the sins in my life. God, please forgive me for ever putting stuff before you." And y'all, right there at my daddy's house at 606 Franklin Avenue is where I learned what true forgiveness was all about. You see, because God knew what I had been doing, knew where I came from, but God saw me crying out to Him at that point and said, "I forgive you." How many remember the moment that God said, "I forgive you"? Was that the best thing that ever happened to you in your life? Come on. So I sat down with my friend, and I haven't touched the stuff since, and that's been many years ago. Our God is faithful like that, amen? He gave me a second chance.
Amen.
We serve a God of second chances. So I'm a little passionate about what God has called me to do. And so later on, many years passed, and me and my friend sat down in my dining room at a keyboard. And I said, "Belinda," I said, "I really want to write a song that's just about just life and sometimes how we feel, just real." And both of us sat there for hours and just bawl, and we just write a line, and we cry and write a line, and we cry, and finally this song came out of it, and it's called "It's You."
Sometimes I need your peace. Sometimes it feels like my whole life is crumbling down on me. And I can't help but wonder why. How can I feel like everything's wraps your arms around me late night. It's you that wipes my tears and hears my desperate cries. When I look at all the broken times you've held me through them all, Lord, it's you that keeps me from the fall.
the truth?
In a world that makes me question, how can I trust you? And truth can be so hard to find. No matter how I try, I come back to you each time. Lord, it's you that wraps your arms around me late at night. It's you that wipes my tears and hears my desperate cries. When I look at all the broken times, you've held me through them all. Lord, it's you that keeps me from the fall. When I look at all the broken times, you've held me through them all. Lord, it's you. Lord, it's you. Lord, it's you. Lord, it's you that keeps me from the fall. When I look at all the broken times, you've held me through them all. Lord, it's you. Lord, it's you. Lord, it's you that keeps me from the fall.
Isn't that the truth?
Amen.